you do anything is how you do everything, okay? And I want to talk about this because there's a story that for some reason has stayed in my head from an experience I went through. It's why I'm here, because of that. So I remember when I used to scaffold and I was at work with someone and they were just not working too good that day, or they were just a little careless. And they said to me, oh, it doesn't matter, like this isn't going to be my real job anyway, so it doesn't matter. Basically that was what I got. And I remember hearing that at the time. I didn't say anything, we just continued on working, but I remember thinking about that, thinking that doesn't feel right, that doesn't seem like the right answer. And how this relates to me is that the reason why I'm doing this career now and have changed lifestyles is because I genuinely think it's because I worked really good for my previous boss, my old scaffold boss, when I used to do that. So I never complained, I just got the job done, I just did it, right? And was just that worker. Like he'd say, do this, I'd say yes and get it done, right? And just never whinged, okay? And whinging is a big thing in the trading community, right? Because when it was time for me to change careers, it was a financial jump, right? All of a sudden you can't just quit your job to do clients once a week or 5 days a week, because there's no money in it at the start, you have one person to begin with. So with him, I go, hey, can I have a day off work to do this? Because I want to do this. And for him to say no, he knew I would have left anyway. So he had to say yes, because that's how he could have kept me for a little bit, right? And me 3 days a week is better than the average man for 5 days a week, okay? And that's what I believe, because I work so hard for him. So he's like, oh, I can't lose this guy, I got to let him do this. And then I went, oh, can I have 2 days off? And he wasn't too keen for that, but he's like, all right, like, I need you, And then he gave me 2 days off. So I didn't have to go through that big financial burden jump. I was allowed to still do a few days a week to pay my bills and do clients to get some money in. And then it ended up just taking off. Within 2 weeks, it just became a whole new career, and then I ended up quitting my job because I go, I need another day off, And then by then I was like, let's just make a leap. I believe that if I didn't work hard for him in the first place, if he told me no, I can't have a day off, I probably wouldn't have done the leap. It probably would have held me back a little bit. I may have eventually, but it definitely would have slowed down my progression. So because I worked hard for him at the start, he gave me the freedom to do my new career path because he needed to keep me. And funny story is, his daughter is the one that skyrocketed my whole career, because his daughter, I'm not sure if you've seen that clip of she had the one with the blood clot in the spine and couldn't walk, and everyone couldn't help her, and seeing all these different people and the hospital and tests and all that. But no one looked at her case from a holistic perspective, because the girl wasn't drinking water, she wasn't sleeping, she wasn't doing a lot, right? He actually messaged me, like, this is when I was still doing a few days a week, a couple of days a week for him maybe, or maybe I just stopped. And he goes, man, I've sent it to everyone, like, do you reckon you can help? And he didn't really have a lot of hope in his voice either, because he wouldn't have expected that. And I was like, it was so out of my pay league at the time, I was like, yeah, bring her in, right? And then anyway, we did some stuff. She got better, just from a basic check holistic health point of view, right? And because he helped me, right, in the transition, like a good guy, helped me transition to my new career, and I helped him from working hard for him for years. His daughter ended up being the one that needed help, and his daughter is the one that skyrocketed my career. So inverse, I helped him, he helped me, I helped him, he helped me, and it all went off like that. So isn't that a cool story from the universe, that just do your best? Do your best, because if you catch someone and I'm aware of this, right? I've already thought about this. If I see someone doing, even friends, if I see them doing some flaky shit around their job that they're currently doing, or career, or calling sick, or doing this sort of shit, in my head it stays in the back there that they did that. And then the bigger we get, if there's jobs that pop up for me, you think about that person, think, oh, I can't give them a job because they did that 5 years ago. Can't rely on them. Who's someone else? So you don't know how that segues into your whole life, because where you are now is just a series of decisions and choices that you've made that got you where you are. And you won't even know it was that choice back then that deterred you off this possible opportunity, right? Back to the power of now, right? Like, you can do things as good as you possibly can. And I love, this is a big Michael Singer quote that I reckon is just summates it so well, and summated it in the way that I like to think about this whole inner work. And he goes, just do the best you possibly can in every situation in life and not care what happens, because that's all you can do, right? And then it sets you free of the outcome, because you did the best you can anyway. So I feel like I had this naturally in me a little bit, and that just lit a light bulb in me for anything that has bad happened in my life, any like little traumatic things or whatever it may be. I've always been pretty good at be able to look past it and think, oh, what's happened, let's move on, because there's no other choice. And that's that masculinity logic in me of, there's no other choice. What do you mean you're going to sit there and complain about it? Like, you have to do this. because what else are you going to do? That's done, so move on, right? And it feels good. It feels good, and it keeps your eye on the future and the present, and keeps you looking back from the past, because it doesn't really matter, right? You learn from the mistakes and you move on. To summate that, do the best you possibly can in every situation and don't care about the outcome, and that gives you such a sense of freedom, and it lightens it all up for you. Even when I got first locked up, and I remember sitting in my cell looking at the mirror and thinking, oh, you'll be right. Like, it's you, you know, I can trust myself. I'll be right. There's no one going to hurt me. I'll be able to defend myself. I'm sorted, right? Because you can trust yourself. So it's just, believe in that.